Welcome, Ninette. Welcome back to the
Welcome
Institute
back.
for Advanced Astonishment. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
You're my neighbor. You're very close to me.
hmm Yeah, I know. In the earthly sense.
Yeah, in every
Yeah,
sense there is.
exactly. That's so
So
true.
so I love the title of the new book. And what I thought of right away, I thought of one name that I know you love too. I thought of Joel Goldsmith would love that title.
Dude, Joel.
1 foot in infinity. When I was going through this, Paul Harris told me when I got it, he said, "All right, now the idea is keep 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the space." He would call it the space,
That's
and
right.
that was the trick of how to. Because once in a while, or for a while, you pull both feet out and sometimes you get stuck and you're too much in what Donovan or the old Zen masters would call the no mountain stage of emptiness, and you're not in the world. But and there's a lot of people out there on YouTube, the Neo Advaita group, that they stay there and they don't come back, and you come back and you put your feet in with high heels, which is tricky. I have flat shoes.
Oh no, we can't have flat shoes.
That takes
Uh,
talent to put the high heel in.
well, yeah.
But you could
Well,
dig it in.
sometimes the heels sink right in and you're a little bit stuck.
Yeah, in the groundless ground.
The groundless. Yes. Well, I find that an interesting what you were just talking about, because I know we all have our own path, clearly. However, for those of us that are, watching these podcasts or seeking and searching, you've obviously are watching this podcast or seeking because you are feeling the inconsistency, the mystery. It's a
Yes.
whole whack of stuff going on, that, like, the course talks about the split mind,
Love
and
that.
we have a split mind.
Yes.
So they call it the right mind and the, what, ego. Yeah, I mean, there's an aspect of the mind. I think there's three aspects, to be honest with you. There's the mind, the ego, the id that's running around like a monkey throwing shit everywhere. Then there's the mind that knows there's something else and is asking and looking and
I like
seeking.
that.
Then there's the third mind, which is really our true mind.
Yes. Yes.
As you know, that's the kind of the pullback POV of it all. It goes, oh yeah, okay, well, we're all fine regardless.
I love you added the third, though, that middle that's actually not happy. Like, there's got to be something. There's got to be
It,
something more, but I'm not so sure, and I'm going to look, and see.
yeah. And I mean, I can only speak from my personal experience, but just kind of in the last year, I'm like, no, dude, there's three aspects of my mind going on here.
Yeah.
And the middle one, between the monkey throwing the poo and the awareness, is this aspect that is kind of the decision maker. It gets to choose the monkey mind, or
Yes.
do I lay back in awareness and trust that?
I agree. There's a choice. Every 50,000 times a day, there's a choice to
50
dunk yourself or not dunk yourself in the muck. You know?
exactly. And you can't, and muckify all you want, and you will until you don't anymore.
Yes. What was in your book? You play around with words, and muck was the one that I really like.
Mind uncovering conscious knowledge.
That's so perfect. Those things help. Like I
They
said, it was like
do.
alchemical way, because it really does. I used to laugh at them when I was a jerky atheist, arrogant. I know everything, but though you need those to, they're like tools that, like breadcrumbs, that help you along the way. Actually, we need, and I think you'll agree, we need everything we can get our hands on,
Everything.
because
Yes.
I say this all the time. It's like that movie, The Notebook, or the book, The Notebook. You ever see the movie?
I haven't.
The whole movie, it's a beautiful love story, and the guy's reading a notebook to this older lady. It's an older man, and it's so beautiful about young love and kids and love and breakups. And at the very end, she realizes at the very end, it's her, and that's her husband, and those are her kids, and these are her pets. And she goes, "How long will I be here?" And he said, "Last time was 5 minutes." And they dance and they put on music, and then she goes back to sleep and kicks him out of the room, who is the stranger, and he comes back every day to read that book, her book, and she wrote it. And that's what you're doing. You wrote the notebook.
I wrote
You know? Yeah, it's all the notebook, the book from the true self to the small, the finite self, to remind us to. So we need everything. So I love the way you make those, you play wordplay with the words, and it makes you, I'll never think of the word muck again without
that
that.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I found an interesting unfoldment with the book was the fact that all of this familial energy kept swirling in.
Right.
And as you know, the editor is my sister. That
Yes.
happened very kind of weird, but very beautiful.
Yes.
But when we started working together, she started to share things that I didn't know or
Amazing.
wasn't there,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And then I'm like, my goodness, this is the next piece of the puzzle. And
Yeah.
then it kept moving and moving until, the Spiral 25 is about the father figure, Morgan, who leaves the books when he passes, and they
Yeah.
go to that used bookstore.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that. And I was, kind of, the book had already been finished. And she was
Yeah.
like, when we started sharing, and I'm like, this has to be in the book. I mean, it was such a healing story for me too, because I did have this sort of view of that character. Again, it was just mirroring back to me an aspect of my mind.
Yes.
But yet, I know a lot of people, when they read books of this kind of nature, they're still very much in separation. That's fine. I mean, we're at where we're at. But for me, I knew that this was an aspect of my mind that I was witnessing, and then to hear this story, I just saw the full heal, the 180, like full,
Yes.
the healing happened. It was boom, like a holy instant. It was just like bam.
Yeah. You're never done. I was one time reading a book, and a maintenance guy came in the library, and he's like, "What are you reading?" And it was my book. And he's like, "You wrote it." And I said, "Yeah, but sometimes I need it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
whatever, you forget, and you have to come." And you're very good with that.
Well, I mean, I really wanted to pull out as much of that family stuff once I started to
Yeah.
see that this was kind of the theme, because the family unit is a gold mine
Yes.
for waking up. I mean, like that famous saying from Ram Dass, you
Yeah.
think you're spiritual, go home for a weekend.
Yeah.
And it's true, because you realize, like, well, they're still seemingly seeing you the way you thought you were, but that's not really you. That's just a
Totally.
projection of your mind mirroring back to you. And so in that space, what's that middle mind going to do?
Yes. Jesus said you can't be a prophet in your own town.
And well,
They've
and he
seen
wasn't.
you. Yeah, they're going
Is
to
it what?
judge it. It's too easy. They've seen you in diapers and all your worst habits, and they're like, "We're going to listen to you now? Oh, you wrote a book?"
Oh,
Yeah.
and
That's all judgment.
well, and again, so this was, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I thought this was very funny when I first spoke to my mother about the book.
I can add a strong lady,
Yes.
very
And
strong.
the mirroring that came back, I was like, okay, this is real good, because what are you going to choose right now?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're looking at an old movie, the thoughts of your own mind. It's flushing up for a reason. What are you going to do?
Beautiful.
Are you going to yell at the movie screen? No, because I've done that before. That doesn't
Yeah.
work. Are you going to allow yourself to feel the stuff coming up, the energy? Are you going to alchemize on the spot? You know,
So,
what are you going to
so
do?
what's your best advice there when things come up, to embrace them like a baby, to bypass them, to face them? What do you say?
You know, again, depending on where you're at and the capacity of what you can handle, because
Yeah,
as we know, these energies feel very real.
very.
If you've had some, you know, a little bit of experience with it, you know, the best first step is to notice. Just notice. Because ego is the first to always have an opinion. Ego is like, yeah, well, fine, there's that mind, there's the monkey. Then, of course, the awareness is always there, loving and supporting and accepts anything you do. But in that middle mind,
Yeah.
you can say, well, I'm going to just sit and watch and feel.
So
And
don't
I'm going to
react, just watch.
don't react. I mean, and again, you may, and just try to back off the judgment. Just notice. There it is.
Have a little popcorn and watch it unfold.
Well, right, exactly. Now it
Easier
depends
said than
because,
done.
well, if
Yeah.
you're right, seemingly in the physical aspect of an experience, I mean, again, you wrote it, you're
Yeah.
experiencing it now because it has value for you. So this is why when you keep your consciousness high, like Joel talks a lot about, keep your consciousness high because you never know when you're going to need it at a drop of a hat.
That's perfect. Yes.
And he's right.
It's like the movie Heat. Remember when De Niro meets Pacino, one's the bank robber and one's the cop.
Okay. Oh,
And
right. Yes.
De Niro says, when I feel the heat, you have to always be ready for the heat to come around the corner. You know, always be vigilant and prepared. So you're saying
Yes.
practice helps, because so many teachers are like, nope, no meditation, no practice. You're already there. You're good. It's over. And I think that's
Well,
worthless.
if
It's
you
true, but it
well,
doesn't.
if you don't need it, I hail you. And oh my God, that's a
Right.
Mars bars.
It's good for 1 in 1,000,000.
Right. For myself, no. Every, like you said in the beginning, every little strand of something
Yes.
that allowed my mind to have a little bit of relief. Okay, I'm going to
So
take it.
what can I ask? What I love the subtitle about rewriting
Code,
rewriting the code.
timelines. Yeah.
Yeah. So what can you take us to um what the code was in you when you had no clue. I don't know if there was a time that you had no clue. Like I was an atheist, so I don't know where you were.
Okay.
I was arrogant atheist with James Randi and Darwin and all that. So I had no clue. I didn't let any of this in at all. But were
Okay.
you always a little bit mystical or mysterious? And
Yeah, definitely this lifetime I chose to maintain some of that throughout.
yeah, and you were always
However,
in
there
the
was,
arts. You were in
right,
the
but
arts, so
the arts kind of tends to keep you a little
yeah,
whirly, you know.
yeah,
But like I said in the book, it was for me the big hit was the marriage,
yes,
because I realized it wasn't about the marriage. It was about all of the grievances and unhealed perceptions
yes.
that I had been holding on to, and it started with the mother figure. So, and of course, that's, you know, there's your gold mine right there. So that to me, the code is, you know, let's keep it kind of scientific because the minute
Yeah,
we get into emotional stuff, the stories compile. I look at it like prior to bringing the mind here in this tactile physical, it's like we went to a store that's called like the frequency store. And you go in as you're this glooming sort of light of like everything's possible.
I
And you're
love it.
like, oh, okay, I would like depression. I would, what about, anxiety? Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah. Right. But then maybe you've got like a, a light friend beside you that's done the human thing or just got back from it or whatever. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
ooh, I don't know, depression. You sure? Like once you're there, it feels really real. And you're like, oh no, I can do it this time. And you kind of collect in your bag all these energy patterns. So there's your code.
Yes.
Now, it's not bad or good. It's just scientific. There it is. So now when you choose to project your mind with intention to be this form seemingly, you have this code, this curriculum code
Yeah.
that you're like, okay, but you choose to forget. And you're like, oh, why am I so depressed for like 30 years? Well,
So do you think we choose to forget? Because that's a big question. Do we choose or is it a mistake? It's very
no.
tricky. No, right?
Well, because let's take the word mistake.
Uh-oh.
Mistake.
Yes.
So it's all a loving, benevolent opportunity.
It can feel like a mistake, but
But
from when you get
from
beyond
the
it,
monkey
yeah, yeah,
perception
it's a
of good and
mistake.
bad and all of that, but the minute you take out any preference, like a
Yes.
scientist, when they put, this with this, they're not like, what? I can't believe it'll do. They don't take it personally. It's just
I
that's
love
the reaction.
I love you say take out every preference because that I don't know if you've heard Ram Dass's teaching on that. I mean, it's an old teaching called the Great
Right.
Way, and the first line is no preferences. When you have no preferences, none, then you'll know.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like Goldilocks. We're like, we want this, and this is too hard. This is too soft. This is too this. This is too that.
Well, and we chose that too. It's like, with my
Yes.
clients, I often say, if you are here right now, and let's just say you have no reference or thoughts from the past, just this moment, what's left?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'd just be here now. I'm like, ha ha ha.
Ah, good title.
There it is. Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Ram Dass, thank you. There it is. There's that
Yeah.
little wiggle room that allows the decision-making mind and the monkey mind to have a little space so that the awareness can come in and play.
Yes. And that's a big part. I love you going to divine play. And I think you're saying the code is like an invitation to this. And
Like
that's a beautiful way to look at it, that it's an invitation. Can you explain that a little bit?
well, again, it's all about that choice. So, we've heard so many times from near-death experiences and all of that because we choose to think that this is where we're at. That's fine. The idea I feel behind that is that if it feels very real, you're going to choose different things differently and participate differently than if you knew, like watching a movie. It's so easy to sit back and go, oh, but if you just, but you're eating your popcorn, you're drinking your drink, you're not feeling it. You're feeling it a little,
Yes.
but you're not in it believing, is this it?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you're in this and you think this is it, and you start to get these little glimpses of, well, there's got to be another way, and you start to let a little bit of that in, you participate very differently
Yes.
when you remember.
You know magic and I was a magician, so when I would walk into a magic shop, I wanted to turn everything off, just like watching a movie. I didn't want to know how I want to be astonished. So I would try to turn off all that detective stuff, and just be a dummy. And that's what you're saying. Like we turn all that off and then we bring it back to catch it like the Truman Show. Something there, and you start to see a pattern.
Right. Yeah, well, exactly. And I think what's happening now in the game, because I talk about that a lot in the book, we got to remember there is only, as you talk about in your books, there's only the one is the
Yes.
infinite spirit, whatever you want to call it, the divine source, creative
Yeah.
principle. But in that is this idea, well, let's play. And I talk about that paper plate, like there's the plate,
Yes.
existence, consciousness, and then boop, there's really nobody there. It's just turned its
So,
perspective on itself.
yes.
And there it is playing. And then all of a sudden it can compound. So the more we allow the stories in our mind to bring us to that emotion, that energy, now you're getting somewhere because the story is just there, just enough to go, oh, but what do I feel about the story? Now the story's played its part. Now you get into the sensation. Well, where is it? Well, there or there. Where you start to pointy in, narrow that POV. And the more you allow yourself to sit there, it starts to dissipate. But we're noticing a massive implosion on spirituality and waking up, dude. I mean, come on.
Yes.
It's not the same as it was 10 years ago.
No, no. And
Even
20 years
5.
ago, even 5. And if you mention even the medicines, like 20, it was like, whoa. And now it's like normal. It's
Very
all
common.
Yeah, everyone's teaching yoga or taking yoga or learning, and there's never a bad word about meditation and being quiet and unplugging, and yeah,
And
and
have you
everything you're
noticed?
saying. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I smile inside when the way you say, and you start to get it, and then I just remember that one word, aware. We become more and more aware. Awareness, when you first start to look, you think it's something so esoteric and big. No, no, it's just become aware. And I've been telling people it's just like Arrested Development. Were you a fan of that?
Oh, I love that.
So do you remember the line when he says he visits the father? It's very bad for the family. And the father says, well, there's always money. And the father's in jail. And he says to the family, there's always money in the banana stand. And they can't hear it. So they're like, yeah, the banana stand, but we could do it on our own. We could do it. And he's like, remember, there's always money in the banana stand. And finally, they burn the banana stand down because they don't want to do the selling the banana, what are they, frozen.
Frozen chocolate dip bananas.
And he goes, no, the money was in the walls. There was hundreds of thousands in the banana. So it's that wording of it. It was clearly saying there's money in the banana stand, and you're clearly saying, be aware, just be aware. And people make it into some big esoteric concept, and it's
well, there's that love affair with separation. Again, if we look at it scientifically, because I'm a real big believer in that blend, especially on this plane, of that spiritual sense and the science, because it is, they are kind of unified in the way that you have to kind of dip back and forth. And, it's like learning anything. Like I've chosen to learn a lot of skills this lifetime. And there's always these kind of stages of gawky, and then all of a sudden you get a grip that you'll never not know ever again.
But practice.
Yes, exactly. So every day, like with the aerial stuff, I started to learn, oh, okay, now, but there is this sort of back and forth until the blend is one thing, then you're just up there spinning around and not really thinking.
And it looks easy to everybody, but there was so many stages to get there, and a focus.
I mean, one of the hardest things physically.
What you're talking about, so they know, is the aerial, would you call it performing or dancing, where there's ropes from the
ceiling, and the silk and the hoops and stuff, right?
Yeah. Amazing stuff up there with no net.
No net. Well, again, if you take all of those experiences and you realize, you can't go to the gym once and lift one weight and think you're going to have nice pipes. It's just not going to
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
The consistency is the name of the game. So
Love
once
that.
you find something that kind of gives you a little opening,
Yeah.
stay with it long enough so that that next little will come, and it might shift in a statement.
Yes.
It might shift in an understanding, but then you'll never not know that.
Yes. Yes. Be like a muscle
And
memory. It'll
a muscle
stay.
memory,
Yeah.
100%. And then what happens is the monkey mind begins to get less and less and
Yes.
less
Love this.
edgy, less
Yes. Yes.
edgy. And the decision maker has a little more space. And of course, it always goes with the awareness once it's,
That's fine.
that's,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. One thing I do want to highly, highly lovingly remind the listeners, the consciousness is around the vessel. So we're not in the vessel as we know.
Yes.
However, the vessel is a vessel, okay, in the game. The nervous system will run the show in the body function of the experience. So if you're one of those individuals that have a lot of emotional content,
That's a great way to put it.
take some time to allow the mind to reiterate it is safe to feel these feelings.
Yes.
I am safe to feel. Because what that does is it allows the nervous system to get out of fight or flight, and it kind of softens, and now it's more porous and spongy to accept a new directive.
That's good.
Because the vessel is like a spaceship.
Yeah.
So you have to start, that's where the science and the spiritual comes in, because you want to be loving, but at the same time, you need to be confident and directive.
Yes.
So in the mornings, I have a whole thing, because that's where I'm
I have a
doing
whole question
right
on your morning.
Okay.
So do it right now. Like what?
Well,
I think that's a big thing. When you wake up in the morning, and when do you wake up? What do you do immediately? And tell us.
Okay, early, right?
Good.
6:30, whatever.
Yeah.
What I do is the first thing, because I get up a lot to pee in the middle of the night, so I constantly direct my mind the minute I get up. I am loving awareness. This is a simulation. Consciousness surrounds this. I'm safe.
Perfect.
So I'm constantly reiterating that in my decision-making
And
mind.
that's a practice to let that, maybe you did it once and then 5 days it didn't, but then you realized that you had better days when you did it every day. And right. And so it's stuck and now it sticks. Yeah. Now it's just
natural. It sticks. So now it's an automatic decision maker goes in and goes, consciousness surrounds the simulation.
Beautiful.
We're good.
So
then I have a whole physical. Yeah, so I definitely click in that all the time.
Yeah.
Then I do a whole sort of breathing and stretching just to get the vessel going.
Great.
Very important for me. That's just, I like the physicality. The phone right away.
No phone.
No, I kind of get into the hey, because I chose a curriculum of depression. That was one of the big things in the familial mother side of the whole lineage. It's like, okay, great. Let me just heal all of that in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's a bunch of malarkey. So that was what perpetuated me to find a consistent, what are you going to do? How are you going to talk to yourself?
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Because guess what? We get addicted to these feelings.
We do.
We get addicted to these stories. Well, I'm the depressed one.
That's right.
Right?
We identify.
Right. It's a big thing. Yeah. I mean, when I talk to clients, they're like, well, my this and my that. I'm like,
yeah.
You sure you want to own that?
It's why you love the theater. Like when we go to a play, for it to move us, we have to identify. We try to map ourselves onto the character. First, it's empathetic, but then we start to really feel it. If they get smacked on stage, we feel, and we're crying or happy, and then the ending, and that's what you're saying. So step back,
The
You are
minute you
not
can
the
step
depression.
back, and this is what I do with my clients. I call it the I am session,
Yeah,
where we're not fixing anything. We're not trying to make you better. There's nothing to be better. You are in truth the divine light of presence expressing itself here and now.
pretty good.
So what it is it's removing the blocks of your
Yeah,
perceptions and stories so that you remember, oh my God, I'm the divine expression of love itself. Wow.
remember. Yep.
Right. So again, because I just don't like healing session and all that. It's just, no, there's nothing
That's
to
beautiful.
heal.
Yeah, like all the masters would say, there's nothing to attain. It's
No.
what you already are. There's Schopenhauer.
Whoa.
He's coming.
Oh my gosh.
He looks like Luma a little bit.
Yeah, she's all white.
She's more white. She's all white. Yeah.
She's all white. Yeah. Yeah. How long have you had Schopenhauer?
Year and a half, and he's 2 now.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
that's a teacher, you know. So
Dude.
get a cat and wake up early.
Well, it's because everyone's going to have their own little thingamajiggy, right? Their little
Yeah.
spin on it.
But don't
The
grab the
main
phone.
thing,
Like,
don't grab
get
the
set.
phone. Don't grab the phone to do something other than if you want to tune into a YouTube to direct you in your meditation or direct you in your,
Right.
that's fine.
That's different.
But just the main thing is be consistent.
Yes.
Because guess what? It's not going to last because the next layer, like Ram Dass said, don't cling on to that. That's still the finger pointing. It'll
Yes.
show you the next thing, and then be willing to let that go.
Perfect.
And then let that go, and then start letting it all go. But if you're just starting to realize, wow, there's got to be another way. I know a lot of people are getting some massive flush ups right now.
Yeah. It's only going to go. I mean,
are you seeing that?
Yeah. And with AI coming, like the whole world is we're going to watch evolution in a rocket to just take off. So,
yes. So it's bringing up a lot of stuff. And also, the other really important thing that I want to lovingly reinforce is that when you feel an upsetting, contractive emotion, it's a setup.
great.
It's coming up to show you it's time for it to be seen. So just stop feeling bad about it because it's actually breaking you open.
It's not against you.
No, it's asking for permission. It's not a punishment.
That's great.
And I think that's so important because, I mean, since we last talked in 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, so much has occurred in the 2 years where I've just realized such a big degree of that wheel kind of going.
Yes. Now it's
turning.
Now it's self-driving.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's again those things where you're like, okay, this isn't happening to punish me.
So get excited. Get excited.
And you might not get excited, but you can take off that worry.
Yes. This is going to help me in a way. It depends on how I handle it.
This isn't prophecy. This is permission.
Yes.
That's a big shift in consciousness as far as a perceptive participation in the energy that you chose.
So wait, when you say you chose, that means, are you saying we have to take full accountability? Because most people don't want to, that was the first thing I saw was holy. It was all me. The whole thing was
the whole
me.
bit.
Full accountability.
Yeah. Now again, yes, watch the judgments. Just know it's scientifically, it's just an experience.
Yes.
You can choose what it's going to mean. So there's your power.
Like a choose your own ending in a book, like that kind of, you get to choose. And the proof of that is you can see two different people sitting at a table and something gets knocked over, the milk gets spilled, and one puts a straw in it and drinks it, and the other one's upset. So you could see it. I mean, in a fire coming, a leak in the house, whatever problem, breakup, one person could handle it one way and another person could handle it. And the heroes that we look up to are the ones that handle it with a smile, which your book is all about humor and very light. You know, it's serious, but also smiling the whole time, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, because the more you kind of, nudge up to your awareness aspect of your mind, you start to remember, okay, I can move through this a lot quicker in linear time. I don't have to have this grievance for another 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I can if I want.
If you want, yeah.
It's there for me.
You could punch yourself in the face all day over it if you want.
Right.
That's how
fine.
free you are. You're so free.
And I've done that. We've all done that.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hold on to it.
Say that again.
Hold on to the hot coal. Like we're it's like we're masochists if we want to be, we can carry the cross and, oh, woe's me, woe's me. And that's a big part of your book is forgiveness, like the real forgiveness.
Real forgiveness. And I want to thank Keith Kavanaugh for this because, it just brilliant. Do you know about Keith Kavanaugh yet?
He's on the same page as me in your book. That's how I learned about him.
Okay, he's been a tremendous help.
Yes.
True forgiveness is this moment unopposed.
Beautiful.
So very big difference than the old school forgiveness. Oh, I forgive you. I see what you did. You didn't mean. You're making it real.
Yeah, you're not up on a throne with a scepter saying, "I forgive you." I forgive you slowly. No.
Your presence and you're observing and you see it.
Yeah.
Right? Then you get to feel what is coming up and be present.
Yes.
And most people at this particular time, a lot, would rather, climb Mount Everest than sit alone for 5 minutes, but sit alone for, let's say I were to ask someone, okay, sit by yourself for an hour. No radio, no television, no phone. I just want you to sit. Now, I'm not saying you need an hour. It could happen in a second. But most people would rather be very distracted in stories and blaming and grievances and identifying with that because it seems easier and it's familiar.
I think they said there was some study, like if they were chained to a desk for an hour or for whatever, they would rather cut their arm off at some point than sit in a solitary confinement, which is what a mystic loves.
Right. Yes.
It's like, really? Okay, let's go.
I mean, I'm sure you do too. I mean, I just listen and I hear, be still.
It's automatic. Yeah.
Yes. I don't have to force myself very rarely now. Whereas when all this started back in whatever, 2010 or whatever, 2009 or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I was like, okay, you're just going to sit here and I was unbelievably uncomfortable, annoyed, very, very upset that he would even have to think to do this. Like, why am I doing this?
You felt, and the monkey mind is going like crazy. It's like turning up the circuits. Did you ever hear that there's a story, a man comes to Carl Jung and he's out of his mind, with his family and his wife and his kids and his job, and he's so depressed. And Jung says, all I want you to do for the week, Monday through Friday, come see me Friday, is go when you get home from work, go in your study and just sit for a couple of hours, total silence. Just don't do anything. Monday, Tuesday, after work, not all day, after work. So the guy comes in Friday and he seems happy, and Young says, it worked. And he says, well, I played music and I made phone calls, and Young said, I told you to be totally quiet, do nothing, don't play music, don't make phone calls, don't. And the guy said, you mean be alone with myself? I would go crazy. And Young said, but you want everyone else, your wife to be with that self, your kids to be with that, but you can't even sit with yourself. And that hit the guy. That was it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Get to
huge.
know
Well, I
yourself.
remember, yeah, well, that's actually, I love that. It's like you expect other people to, in the illusion, have reflections back to you of the self, yet you're putting out there completely different frequency.
Yeah. And you don't want to sit there with yourself.
Yeah, you don't exactly. Well, I remember when I first started reading Joel, and there's just no
Joel
wiggle room with
Goldsmith.
that. Yeah,
Joel
Joel Goldsmith. And I remember deciding like that day, okay, I'm going to really start to train my mind to stay focused
Yeah.
in that spiritual sense, right? And the amount of ego ranting of like, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
People aren't doing this. What? And so that's the other thing that I think is very, very important when you're moving through these phases. The ego's not going to stop. Don't expect it to.
Yeah, there's a
Just
fantasy that it will be quiet right away. Even if you take the
no.
medicine and sit for a while, it could still roar, and it could be, depending on the medicine, it could be really intense,
Intense.
and
Oh
then it'll
yeah.
finally dissolve, and that'll help you. But I like what you're saying. Don't, for the first maybe weeks or months or a year of meditation, it might be screaming.
Well, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but I mean, there are times where it just won't stop.
Yes. Yeah.
But because I've, you know, continually been doing the work, the latency time is a lot quicker
Yes.
that I realize, well, there you are.
And
And,
you're a
and
professional. It's just like you're a professional singer, right? You say so, like a comedian, and you could do comedy too. When the heckler goes after someone, when you're a honed professional like you are able to handle that heckler where a fresh person would crumble and run off the stage crying or something. You can handle a bottle thrown at you and you just duck and say,
right.
If you remember George Bush, the guy threw the shoe. I watched it again. It came in my feet. He ducked and he smiled. And then the guy threw his second shoe and he was smiling the whole time, ducked again. And then all these Secret Service come through the door and he pushed them away, like smiling. He was like awake in the play right there at that moment.
Yes.
That shoe woke him
Yes.
up for a second. So when you're a professional and you're able to handle that loud. The Buddha, there's that story, the guy came to the Buddha and said, help me, my mind's screaming. And the Buddha said, why are you coming to me? And the guy said, you seem so peaceful. The Buddha said, how do you know my mind's not screaming? And the trick is I don't listen to it. I'm able to, and you just, what did you say? Latency, like a sort of a lag or a break.
Yes.
Space.
It's a lot quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yes.
It doesn't mean it's going to stop.
Right.
It just means that it has no identification with the self anymore.
Yes.
So that really helped me with the curriculum that I chose of depression.
Yes.
What I started doing is every time in the mornings, especially when it would kick up, right? That's the good old morning time, CrossFit right there.
It would just come out of nowhere like a storm.
Sure. Seemingly.
Yeah.
And I would start to say, well, that's not me. That's just apparently happening. There it is. So the more I kept saying that, I started to disidentify. And there was now this space. So instead of being like this, it would kind of be here and then here and then. Yeah,
like
I
a
mean, that's what
parasite.
it
It's
felt
like
like. A little
a
suction cup.
parasite. Yeah, attached
Yeah,
to your face. Yeah. And you can't see
exactly.
it.
No, no.
No one
And it's
sees it,
right
but it's
there.
there. Yeah.
It's too close. It's like I need to back up to look and go, oh, you're just a
Ah,
thing.
you can breathe. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it doesn't stop. It doesn't mean that I still don't have these, twinges come up.
Right.
But now I know that it's not me. It has nothing to do with the truth of me.
Yeah. It's like an old annoying neighbor. It's
Exactly.
like,
And
ah,
so it starts to collapse on itself. And what you start to see is that in the line of lineage in the game, right? See, we're still in the consciousness of the separation. So I'm saying me, the mother, the grandmother, all that stuff.
right.
You start to see it collapse the whole timeline.
Ah, all the way
So
back.
that's what I mean by in the
Yeah.
book when I say to
Beautiful.
recode and, like jump these timelines,
Yeah.
you start to, and that's why the course says when you heal, you don't heal alone. And that's exactly what
Beautiful.
it's talking about in
Yeah.
the game. Now, in truth, there's one we
Right.
know, but we're in a game, we're in a simulation. So,
Yeah.
in the simulation, right, 1 foot in infinity, 1 foot in the game, you will start to see these dominoes
Yes.
and everything starts to change on your screen of space, as Neville Goddard would say,
Yes.
because you have allowed your mind to see the truth. And then it shows up on your screen of space, and you're like, whoa, things seem a little calmer, a little lighter, a little more
Yes.
malleable.
Game changer.
Game
Yeah.
changer. And
That's
it's called
big.
a game changer for,
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
reason. It's a freaking game.
Yeah.
This is
So,
important.
and once you get a hit of just your first hit of that, where you're astonished and you see, wait a minute, now it's not, it's like Larry David on Curb when the car drives by in the corner and it doesn't splash him with water. And he's like, oh, something's looking up, like something, all of a sudden you're out of that dark cloud, but then right when and I'm sure you'll agree, right when you declare you're done and you're out, it comes back even stronger.
Because another layer is ready to
Yes.
be revealed.
Yes. Like a game, like another level.
Exactly. So that's why you can't take anything personally.
No.
It's just another flush up,
Yes.
right? It's like we don't eat a meal and then hold the meal for 20 years. We are constantly releasing. It's
Yes.
that's a microcosm of the macro.
Beautiful.
You chose these frequencies and energy patterns. Ooh, wouldn't this be fun? Now you're there to alchemize. That's what this is all about.
Yes.
Can I remember my truth while I'm seemingly in a simulation that has nothing to do with truth?
And take responsibility, accountability that it's so amazing.
It is. I mean, just to be able to participate even in little degrees, and that's what you'll notice. If you really take those don't take it personally. Remember, it's about permission. This is not punishment. And that the minute you can disidentify with the flush up, you're going to start having little degrees, shifts of being able to participate very differently. Then you'll see it on your screen of space. It's not coming toward you, it's coming through you to then come back to
Yes.
you.
Beautiful.
So remember that. It's not about, oh, well, my supply is going to walk toward me. No, your supply is coming
Water.
through you and will
Yes.
show on your screen of space.
Joel Goldsmith.
Too. And that's Neville, too. I mean, those two
Yeah.
are like.
And Elvis's favorite book, do you remember the title? His favorite book.
It was a Joel Goldsmith book, wasn't
He
it?
loved him. No, outside of Joel.
Oh.
Impersonal Self. And that's what you're saying. You're saying that. Don't take it personally. It's not against you. It's not about you. It's all in this together as the one. divided. It's like a team, don't take it like it's us against them, or
No, no. And that's why, like, with all this stuff going on seemingly in the government in the United States, which I'm
yeah,
sure I
it's like
don't
a
really look
spiritual
at the,
battle. Yeah, it looks like
well,
spiritual warfare.
and it's just, it has to get so silly
Yes, yes,
so that the, asleep ones can really get riled up about it, because that's kicking up all the shit.
yes.
It needs to get kicked up so that you look at it.
See it for what it is.
Yet you have to look at it, so it gets so ridiculous that it becomes, yes, a lot of people point their finger and they blame, but that's going to kick up that annoyance, that upset, that all that stuff has to come up.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you notice it's a very generational thing? Have you noticed that?
What do you mean? Tell me.
Well, I feel like the generation in the game that's now, like, say, late teens, 20s, maybe cusping on 30, but not much more, have a very different curriculum package as far as, like, coordinates and energy patterns of what they're humming, as opposed to, 40 and up in the generation, a very different density.
Yes.
Right? Do you notice that?
Yeah, it seems the younger, I mean, are you saying they play a different role and they don't take it as seriously as the boomers or something?
Yes. And
Yeah.
my sister and I talk about it. We're just like, we had to, like, prove our worthiness, and, like, we had to sort of,
Yes.
like, search and figure it out, and all this, like,
Yeah, they don't have that. You're right.
No,
Yeah.
they
I
don't.
see
They're
that.
like, my feelings matter. I will share them. You will
Right.
hear them. I am fluid.
Right.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
everything. And I
Yes.
love all that stuff because it annoys certain individual groups that need to look at that.
Right, right.
Because it's just a role. Like, we've got to get out of that saran wrap of, like, well, I'm a this, and that's what that does. And
Louis
this generation
does a great routine on what you're saying.
Oh, really?
Like
okay.
that when we grew up, it was just this or that. You were this or that. And now it's I could be whatever I want. And then he's able to somehow put them together where there's some truth here and there's some truth here. And you have to just bring it together. Don't be totally this and don't be totally that, but bring it together. Yeah.
Well, and I forget who said this, so apologize, and maybe they said that when a seeming role player of a female and a male, say, okay, or male and male, whatever it is, female, whatever, but our sort of generation is like female, male. When you can stand in front of each other, completely raw and naked, and not have any energy moving through other than there I am.
Yes, yes. That was the beat generation. Kerouac and Ginsberg. Ginsberg would literally get naked. But they would just sit, they would pull their chairs up and spin the chair the other way. So you're right there and you both pull the chair and they just look at each other. It's like eye gazing in a way, and just drop everything, let go of everything.
And notice what comes up and drop. Right.
That was like 50s, 60s, maybe a little 70s, and then it changed. Something happened.
Well, then the 80s of the whole, computer, and we had to the ego had to go back into like
yes.
Because I was 60s and 70s, really, 60s especially, brought up all that stuff.
Yes.
Right. And then the transcendental meditation and all that. So the ego was like, okay, that's fine, but now we need to come back in.
That's
right. And then the 90s
24-hour news stations came in, and we see these it was just we're going global, but also seeing too much. But then the beauty is what you said earlier: yoga, meditation, awakening, enlightenment, stillness, Eckhart Tolle, all this. started to come, and you could find your tribe and find teachings, and you could find Muji and Joel Goldsmith, and you know,
Thank God.
yeah, it's all in your pocket. The whole
Dude,
thing. It's
it's
getting
right
closer and
there.
closer to where it really is.
Yes. Can I ask you where you are right now? What do you see around you? I mean, of course, it's your screen of space, but what's sort of the energy there?
I see what's coming in the next 5 years. Like I'm optimistic about it. That, of course, the AI can kill us all. All right, let's put that over there. Anything could happen. A meteor could hit. Something's coming down. Right? What is it? Do you know about it? Size of Manhattan. It's coming right at there.
Oh, the Atlas
Yes,
I3
third
Atlas.
eye. It's like where I live. The third eye.
Right.
So it's making me more spacious and more, because I was such a skeptic. So I'm watching the X-Files now and enjoying it. I never watched it going back because I pushed away all of that. It was all bullshit. I was with Penn and Teller, the Amazing Randy, Richard Dawkins, Carl Sagan, and we knew we're all going to die and be buried in the earth, and that's it. And and you are your brain. That's where I was.
Okay,
and so when everything flipped, so now I see just evolution accelerating, like faster and faster, where with the technology, and I see the tech and the weird sightings, which I used to deny everything, even though I always believed that there'd be something way out there, but now it makes more sense that it's already here and it never left here, and it's just novelty peeking in from the one, what you defined as the one mind, or so it's peeking in when it peeks in. I don't know. It's just it's like the Las Vegas sphere come to everyday reality, and here it is, and we're in it. Just get the popcorn and also let go, learn, be ready to let go, like the movie Heat. Be ready with your passport and your cat to go when the shit hits the fan, because anything can happen at any point. Inside, meaning let go of everything.
Let go, right.
Good practice.
Well, I feel like it's in the game. I feel like it's ourself coming to see ourself.
Yes, exactly that.
And it's coming, and depending on where you are at in your curriculum,
you'll see that
it one way, or you'll see it another way, which could be very upsetting.
Yes. I see the tech as, or let's use the words tech and alien, right? Like whatever. Okay. Alien is just like foreign, right? Whatever.
Sure.
So alien and tech is like the way the one mind that you're talking about peeks through to show itself, and almost like an earthquake. We get so many earthquakes here, and you're more used to them on your side, I think, California and all that. So, but I wasn't in New York. So you start to see, it's like it can happen at here it comes, and it comes when it wants, so be ready. And like you said, it's like a mirror for where you're at in the game.
You will see.
Have popcorn and be like, wow, here comes the holy self, or it's a spiritual warfare. And this is a new thing for me. This is the first time I'm saying it out loud. I'm starting to accept and see when people are in the spiritual warfare part, like a Candace Owens is saying that Altman and Elon Musk are hybrids. They're not human. I'm starting to understand on her level, what she's saying, where in the old way, I would just reject that as insanity. Now I go, oh, that's how Candace Owens sees, because she's not a stupid lady, very smart lady. So she's seeing it at her level. Some people are going to be warriors. Some people are out there fighting for gender. Some people are fighting for this or that. All these different things are happening. And the Congress are having and it's legitimate now that maybe there's something, maybe not. but it's spoken about like this novelty. It's a hell of a show.
Well, it is, and you are going to witness the contents of your own mind.
Yes, exactly. You're
So I think,
manifesting it in a way.
right, and I think it's important to remember that
Yes.
and be okay with remembering that.
Yes.
Because that's a big thing, you know. I mean, you
So you're
talk to
saying
certain,
you'll see what you are in a sense, like
you will,
you
yes.
get what you are. Like Alan Watts said,
It,
you don't get what you want from the universe. You get what you are, which is supply of Goldsmith. Like when you realize, oh my God, I am my own supply. And so the more you're in peace, the more you see oneness in everything, the higher your supply and the more you give. The beauty of Goldsmith, the more it's not about giving to get back. It's not yours. Like just keep giving and it comes back and it comes back to the ones that keep giving it. And it's like this beautiful flow of
it is when it's authentic, like
yes,
you said,
authentic. Yes.
don't give to get, because the nervous system in the vessel, right? Because it's a vessel, and I know Dr. Joe Dispenza is really big about using the vessel to wake up, and he's right on the mark because he's very scientific. And I don't know if you know his whole story about his whole thing and why
he almost died. Yeah, young, right? In his teens.
So it's a whole, and he used his spine and a lot of sort of intentional work, which again, that's another big chunk, is that we are intentionally based existence.
Yes.
There is no random. It's you intend. That's how every single thing that you interact with was made or created.
I always say, and I never said this before either. You're making me say things I've never said. I say inside, but I never let my mouth say that. I think the real secret to the medicines of LSD and MDMA in silent, anything in darkness and quiet, not recreational, but creationally, like take it, is intent. I think that the way a little piece of paper that's so small, when you swallow it, like Timothy Leary said, it's like you swallowed all the Encyclopedia Britannica. Beyond that, the OED, everything, and you get from this little piece of paper. The reason is if you have the intent, because what is it really when you let everything go in and you sit, you're going to take something that's going to make you go for a ride for 8 to 12 hours. So that's a commitment and an intent. So if you're not partying and you're not going on a subway or to New Year's Eve in New York City, but you sit alone like a Buddha, very quiet, like you find your tree of stillness or the desert like Jesus, and you sit still and you say, my God, this is illegal. It shouldn't be, but it's illegal. And I'm going to take it. I'm a sacred outlaw. I'm going to take this thing. Please show me. And it's the intent. And I never said that before, but I think it's the intent. It's just a piece of paper that supposedly has a little liquid on it, but it's the intent that you're willing. If you really, it's what you get what you are and what you intend.
Dude, bang on. And thank you for saying that. I love that.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to cut that out.
No,
I'm joking.
No, okay, yeah.
But can you go on about that? Because you're better.
Well, dude, I mean, I'm not, the Bible gets a bad rap and all this stuff, but if I just touch on that for a minute, like some of the most bare bones of what we kind of relate to in our spiritual, like, especially when it's getting reinterpreted.
I think the Bible gets a bad rap when it's read from the ego.
Yeah.
It's the ego it's the monkey reading the Bible that gets the bad rap. It's all there when you wake up. It's all there.
It's all there.
You let go of everything else and you say, that's okay. You just see the whole thing. Yeah, boom. It's all there. Adam and Eve, everything. It's all
everything. There. It's a psychological drama of consciousness. Yes,
it's genius when you wake up.
Yeah, it is. If we look at the 7 days or 6 days of creation,
Yes.
okay, what's that based on?
Tell me.
Intention.
Yes, yes.
So if we're going to go to like, a bare bottom, like of the barrel, right, of
Creation is
spiritual,
intention.
100%.
Yeah. Or else there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Right. You're saying it. And then you have to
The paper
you have to
plate.
manifest it. Yeah, yeah. Paper
So the
plate.
paper plate's just there going, paper plate.
Yeah,
The
it's
minute we
great.
do
It's
this,
fine. Yeah, yeah.
it's like, oh, now I've intended, I'm changing my perception. I'm intending now to interact. I'm intending to
Yes.
create.
Yes. That's why you don't just sit in darkness now. You create, you wrote a book, you sing, once you get it, you don't have stillness comes when it comes, but you want to create, you want to spread the good news, the gospel.
And let's go deeper. There's no one out there to spread it to.
Right. It's just
So
love.
really,
You had a great line on your WhatsApp, which I only saw today. You are a thought of love in the mind of love. I love that line. I don't know if it's your line or whatever, but it's nails it perfectly.
well, and in your book, when you do the I love, it just
Yes.
dissolves.
It's all
right?
love.
So you are actually having a love affair with the I am that you are.
Yes.
So if you can continually go into that space of, I'm having a love affair with I am, which I am. It's not outside me.
It is you.
It's just the paper plate going, oh yeah, cool, okay. I mean,
Yes.
that's all that's happening. When you can get to that space, especially, being a performer, choosing all that kind of stuff,
Right.
when you really start to do that kind of remembering, your performances change.
Yes.
Your motive, intention for getting up on a stage,
It's not about you.
No, it's about
It's a love affair.
How free can I be to express how
That's
much I
beautiful.
love I am.
I watched reaction videos of Elvis once in a while, and he did "Love Me Tender." I think it was "Love Me Tender," and then he walks. It's in Vegas, and he walks around the crowd and kisses every girl that comes. That they come to, and when you take it from what you're talking about, from the beloved, you just see the beloved loving the beloved. Like, don't get jealous. Don't. The husbands are fine. Everything's, and he's working his way through, and he's laughing because he can't understand. Like, it's just and even a guy comes to shake his hand. Elvis goes to kiss him as a joke, and they have a little moment, and then he goes around like so. It's just it's light. Everything's light, and it's just love moving through the room on the song "Love Me Tender." And then when Elvis gets back to the stage and just laughs and pulls the voice out to finish, And if you see it from there, or you could see it from the nightmare.
You see, and so
It's
what
your
are you going to
choice.
see on your screen is space.
Yes.
When I speak to certain people and they're still enraptured in gossip, say,
Yes.
they see a scene going on and their interpretation
Separation.
is and I don't see it that way.
No. You see a beautiful play, and they're seeing separation. Yeah. Judgment, separation. And that's
Right.
Christ consciousness. Or you look in everyone's eyes, you see the beloved in every bird, every cloud, and even when it's dark and gloomy in the dark night of the soul, like you just said, it's a opportunity in a way. You didn't use that word, but something coming up as an opportunity. Or
if you are in any way, if you're in any way riled,
yes,
good.
That was a great way.
Good.
That was great. Rumi said, if I'm irritated by every rub, how is my mirror going to be polished? So if you're riled, like you would say when you're more awake, you would say, oh, that's what I need to work on. But the riled one that identifies can't see that yet and needs a partner or someone to point and say, it's okay.
It's
You'll get through
okay.
this. Yeah, it's okay.
And
Sometimes
oftentimes
we
you'll
say it
start,
happened to me, and that works. They go, oh, it happened. And that takes the energy out, the juice of it.
yeah, the charge, 100%.
Yeah, the charge.
And then other times, your role is to just remember for what you're seeing, because that's just an aspect of your mind as well. Let's not get,
Yes.
it's an aspect on this one, but not on that one. We can't, it's
Yes. It always
playing
keeps you
field
on
is
your
equal.
toes. Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't. So the minute you go, well, that person reacted that way, it's like, well, that's a perspective of your mind coming back at you
Yeah.
to show you where you're still holding on to something
Remember
that,
Goldsmith? This was his technique. He would talk and do this. Dave Fair loves to do it, and it's from Goldsmith. So they both, he's like the living one doing it. But it's a
yeah,
great thing when you're talking, you're really talking to yourself. It's all
you,
once.
there's nothing else going on. So
Yeah.
that's why partnerships,
Yes.
say a couple, you're living together, whatever, family, friends, but when you are actually living seemingly in the same place,
Yes.
there is no, if you are going to choose to make that relationship a holy relationship, which they all are holy, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean holy as in you're going to use the mirror to wake up.
Intent again.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's your intent.
Yeah.
There's no wiggle room.
Which is what the Course in Miracles in your book is like, there's no wiggle room.
There's no wiggle room. It's like,
Yeah.
and I don't want wiggle room.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only wiggle room that I, see value in is that the minute I can, and then go, there's
Yes.
some space to start seeing it differently.
Yes.
And as
Some
you
people
know,
need to take a walk. Some people need to go get another room in a hotel. Some people can do it on the spot. It's a lot of work.
well, and I just wanted to say, because we were talking about there's got to be another way, as you know, that's how the course was completely birthed.
Yes.
You know that story,
You mean
right?
with Helen and her husband?
Bill Thetford.
Yeah. I don't know too much if you want to. I know there was Helen, Bill, and then wasn't who's the early teacher of the course? Who's great, not
Oh,
David.
Ken Wapnick.
Yeah, wasn't he? I think he said I was going to be a monk and go in the mountains like what I'm doing, but then Helen pulled him back in, and he got involved, and it was a three.
Yeah,
like a
he was
trinity.
part of the editing team. Yeah.
He was going to go
Sorry.
away, but luckily he didn't.
Well, they were professors, as you know, at that university, and couldn't stand each other and hated the departments. So
Right. Psychology,
one day,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And one day Bill went into Helen's office because he was saying it was so bad. And he said, do you think there's another way that we could conduct ourselves here and is there a different relationship we can have? And he was expecting her to go tell him to jump a bridge. And she just turned to him and said, yes. And
That's
because
big.
of that willingness, it wasn't soon after that all of this channeling came into form.
So there's the 50,000 times a day. You can say no, no, no. And she said, there was that one opening right there.
Yes. And so I think that's another, microcosm of intention. It's like,
Yes.
I'm intending, he stepped in and said, there's got to be another way. What could this mean? Look what it meant.
Yeah. And she fought it all the way, right? She
fought it all the way.
She was a skeptic atheist like I was, I think.
She said, don't tell anyone I'm part of this until I'm passed.
Yeah.
So, but that's, that's kind of, to me, interesting because it's like, I'm going to continue this role, but it doesn't mean that I have to fully immerse in it.
Right. Yeah, get out of your way.
Get out of your way.
This is all easy to say, but then once you experience it just once, like you said, it's like it's like Hafiz would say, like, you're living in a, I'm going to paraphrase, you're living in the shittiest room in the house, like the worst one. There's cockroaches and worms and bugs and snakes and broken glass. Like, sleep once in this bed. Like, come to this room. You deserve it. Just want, and once you get a taste of a nice feather bed and no bugs crawling on you and no, metaphorically, why would you? And even when you do, the next day you're back in the crappy room because you're torturing yourself, and then you start to learn to go down the hall and get out, And
but that's like, consistency of remembering, hold on a minute, I do have a choice here.
Yes.
But you got to remember, it's like when I work with clients that are like, have weight that they'd like to lose. I'm like, you didn't gain this weight in linear time in one night.
Right. So you can't remove it one night.
Right. And now maybe at some point we'll be able to do that. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. But right
let's
now,
get there.
The name of the game is consistency.
That's perfect.
And, it's like, I want that chocolate cake. Well, you know what? That doesn't align with where you want to go and how you want to feel. So you have a choice.
Yes.
But it takes time for that individual to go, okay, I can be in front of a chocolate cake and I'm okay.
You don't give up. When the first day you might want to take a little finger 100%. Of it and make a
100%. And guess what?
That? Oh, sorry, you.
No, sorry. 6 weeks could go by and you're on a roll, and then you just eat the cake because you just.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Okay.
But it's like being in the mud. Like you wake up in thick, up to your chest mud in the dark, which is really weird. But luckily, it's not quicksand, and you're in the dark, and then they hear your voice, like, and you go, take a step, take one step, because they can't move. Take one step. So one step is like it's like Hercules to get that one leg up, and you think, and they go, I'm not home yet. And you're like, hold on. You're saying it takes time. And then 2 steps, and you're still not, even 10 steps. But on the 20th step, maybe, if they keep going, and like you said, consistent, which is really important, over and over, just keep going. Don't stop for a year, because you're going to stay and keep sinking. On the 20th step, they'll hear your voice a little louder, a little clearer, because they're maybe 50 steps from shore, and now they're 30. So now 25, and then they feel the progress. It takes a long time to maybe feel the progress. Because you work with the people,
Well, and when I started my bodybuilding career, I remembered the first day when I started with my coach. And I was feeling completely drowned in, because my goal was to compete and do really well, and I really wanted to experience this.
Yes.
But I also wasn't 20 doing it. I was in my early 40s deciding, I'm going to become a champion bodybuilder. Okay, woohoo. I remember thinking, you can't get to the competition without your 1 rep, your 2 rep, your 3 rep, your 4 rep. And then when you meet your coach the next day, it's going to be the next 20 rep and 30. So you got to decide right now. And I remember I was at the gym waiting for him to show up. It was our first session. And I made that decision right then and there. I'm going to experience this, and it means reps.
I love that. Discipline.
Period, dude.
Discipline. Yeah, old school. Just give me 20. Dude. Give me 20.
You and the iron, and there I was with my coach. And I'm like, I made that decision. Now, were there days where I didn't want to get there? Yeah. Or I'd be at the session, I'd be bawling my eyes out. My coach is like, you got this, don't worry. But I knew that I passed that.
Yes. Remember the old joke? I say it every week here. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Like the old joke, like it's directions. How a couple comes up to you, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? And you go, practice. That's the only way to Carnegie Hall.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way to anything.
This Neo Advaita, what do you say? Do you have an opinion? I get it. When the ones that say you're there, it's done, and they shut the laptop. You're there.
In truth, you are there, and you are done.
It's true, but then they don't give you any more.
You're dealing with 1 foot in infinity and 1 foot in a seeming very dense, tactile environment.
Seeming. That's great.
And you have, like I said in the beginning, a nervous system that you are very seemingly reactive to.
Yes.
So yes, we have to reparent
I
ourselves.
love reparent. That's great. You have to
We have
reparent yourself. That's a great way to,
you do. I mean, I know it's kind of a Freudian thing, but
yeah, yeah. It's great.
but if you take it in the new way, like forgiveness, it's not about if I forgive you, it's about the present moment unopposed.
Yeah.
If you look at that reparenting, not only do you have to, take the steps and be very quite diligent, but you have to coddle yourself, speak kindly to yourself.
Love yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And like if you were with your best friend and they were moving through something, you're not going to be like, yeah, we're already there yet. So you figure it out and walk out the
Right.
door.
Right.
You're like, hey, I'm here for you. I see it differently. And if I share that with you, you might have a shift of perception.
Yeah.
I'm not here to fix you, but I'm here to reflect something different. So we have to speak to ourselves the same way we would a best friend.
Yes.
I am here. You are safe to feel this. Yes, it's a little old school, but I'm saying when you're in our group of like, that 45 and up, we chose a very different density of the rubber band. And so we do have to go in and coddle and be kind.
Yes. I agree.
We're paving the way for these little young hovens back there. Like, right? We're on the snow in the morning making the track.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. Yeah.
following our track.
They're making the hot chocolate.
Right. Yeah. And serving it. And we're
Yep.
like, hey, I mean, we chose that in the I
Yeah.
am and the collective energy.
I love you say we chose. I know that sounds radical to people, but I love like when Ram Dass says, next time I'll come back, I'll be a lady in Africa with one leg and 7 kids and, and you pick your handicaps, whatever, I'll one arm, I'll be blind in the right eye. And it's like, and I will still wake up. I will still wake up. And it seems like that's what's going on. It's all different little pinpricks of uh, God or the one mind looking through all these infinite different little telescopes at infinity. Like you said, it's looking out and getting to experience Africa, getting to experience Mexico, getting to experience, one leg, no legs, crawling, and you still get up. No matter what, you get up.
Well, it's like it's a game. When you go watch a basketball game or anything else, the game isn't real life, but you want the best players and they're getting paid
Yeah.
millions of dollars and they have these skills. And when you're watching, you're like, hey, come on,
Yes. And we cheer when the old pro goes out into the locker room limping, but then limps back and plays the fourth quarter and wins. Michael
That's what
Jordan
I'm
style,
saying.
we like that. When they broke Jordan's ribs when he was coming back at 40 and he's practicing and they broke his ribs, they put a flak jacket on, and 3 weeks later he was in the NBA. And he gave his salary to the 9/11 survivors and the family, just to make, we love that kind of that hero's journey. You want to be that hero.
Well,
Give.
and there again, there's the story. And in truth, it doesn't mean anything.
No.
It can mean whatever you want it to mean. And I think that's where we're starting to wake up to, is to remembering, oh, this is all very malleable.
Yes.
This is pliable. This is like, I can really choose what it's going to mean for me.
There's something about the selfless compared to, like you said, like the impersonal, it's not personal when it's the person who wants to give but put their name on the building compared to the one that just does it with no name. You don't know. And that's it's unspeakable, really.
Just to do it and know
Yeah.
that you did something that you wanted to do. You don't need the other I ams cheering you on.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
like the Cara Burnett I don't know if you know her story. Someone came up to her when she was just starting and said, I'm going to give you money to go and so you can do your school and you can do everything so you can become a big star, but please don't tell people who you got this money from. And all I ask is that when you are a bit ready, you pay me back. But I don't expect anything, and please don't reveal my
Beautiful.
name. So even in interviews to this day, she
Nothing. Yeah,
says,
yeah,
I don't, they ask for complete anonymity, and I will honor that.
yeah. The
And
wind
see,
beneath
that's
the
cool.
wings. That's the real
That's
wind
cool.
beneath the wings.
100%.
Yeah, just blowing,
Yeah.
helping them get afloat, and then getting the money back or getting anything back, I'm realizing now is more, there's just a transaction. It's not about the money. But if you do too much free for people, like if your book was free, you can do that. I can do it. But sometimes people ignore it, like it's not worth it. Even though you're going, look, I'm giving it to you for free, they won't read it. So you have to make a price, have a
Mm-hmm.
transaction, and then they'll get this wisdom. And you need some kind of transaction, it seems like. So
Well,
that person
same
had a transaction.
same with clients. I mean, you have to put something there so that they
Some
value it.
bullshit.
It's
Yeah.
accountability too. If they're
Yes.
paying me every month for sessions,
Yes.
they have to show up, because if they don't, they still paid for it, but that session's used.
Right.
So they know,
It's got to
okay,
be a little tough love.
I have to show up. Now it's accountability,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, it is.
you know. Oh, and I did want to say, speaking of that, so your listeners, if they or when they purchase the book, I'm offering a half off IM session. And
Beautiful.
all they need to do is just email me and say, hey, here's my receipt. I bought before the 15th of November, and it's valid for the whole rest of this year.
So
So
just show
if
the
you
Amazon purchase or whatever purchase.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then they're like, hey, I saw you on the podcast.
Great.
I bought it before the 5th or on the 15th, and then we can schedule. But I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like it's definitely a really valued experience,
Yes.
I shall say. And I also feel, due to the, involvement that I've had over these years with this kind of work, um, I specialize in this type of thing. I just feel that there's, something that I click into that allows that
Yes.
reflection to see it differently. So I just wanted to put that offering
Beautiful.
out
And
there.
when they see the
Yeah.
book, I've seen the book. It's it's exactly what like I wanted in my books, only yours is even more like it's vibrant. Like I wanted my book to vibrate in your hand in a way. Like,
Oh,
and
they
your
do,
book does
dude.
all of that. And you have instead of chapters, they're like spirals, which reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. And it's built into nature, the spiral and the staircase. And there's so many. This is something I did a little bit, but you did so much more, which I love. It's like interactive, the book.
Okay.
Like there's things you can, there's, it's like you can work with the book. It's not just something you read. It's
Right.
something I don't know the right word, almost like exercises. Like you'll see as you read it, you'll see progress and you'll feel, as you go through. That's why I said in the forward that if you have this book on an island, you'll be fine.
Well, and again, I want to thank you. That was a beautiful
Well, it's all you,
forward. I
yeah,
am
it's all there.
so honored, James. Thank you.
It's so soaked in the Course in Miracle, in the truth, in everything Joe Goldsmith, your whole journey, your family, it's all there. And like we always say, and it's practical, not airy fairy way out there, which is okay too for
Sure.
whoever needs that. But yours is like in tomorrow, when the shit hits the fan, this book is addressing that, not saying go run away and escape, deal with it
Um,
in the world.
I love the practical,
Yeah.
because, I'm a real kind of manual, hands-on kind of gal, and I really like, what do you got? You know, feed me something.
Because even a big awaken, I had a big, tremendous awakening, but I never took the car out to drive, like at a certain point,
Right.
and then my father died or something happened. And then Paul was like, all right, now you take the Ferrari, the spiritual Ferrari, out on the cliffs of California. You have to drive it. You can't just stay in the, like Rain Man, slow in the driveway or in the garage. You have to test it. And the stronger it is, it'll handle being like Jeff Foster said once, this has to hold up being in a camp or in prison or in that. You have to be able to access this, not forget
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Yes.
practical.
And if you get one little tidbit, that could rock your world, honestly,
Yes, yes. Yeah.
you
And
know?
and I like, so you're saying discipline, which I love, consistency, and those two together with the right, it's like learning a free throw. Like if you learn the right movement and everything, they will yield fruit. They will, and once you get that fruit, it's like synchronicity to me. Like I was always against it. Was coincidence, just random, all my. But once you get a synchronicity that just knocks you off your feet, then you start to be open a little, you get used to it, and you get these new muscles, like you said, you know, and you start to move up and up and up in the game.
Yes. And I just want, the listeners to remember, all out there, seemingly, uh, everything you feel is for your awakening.
That's beautiful.
Every single thing. And I can't really take full responsibility for that one because that's very coursey. And I'm sure, there's other, obviously
It's
teachers
just
that
wisdom. Yeah, it's
it's
wisdom.
just wisdom. It's just that every little twinge of whatever
Right.
annoyance, upset. Now, because I don't talk a lot about the joy and all that, because the joy is our natural state.
Yes, yes.
But we have
That
these
speaks for
blocks. So
itself.
that
Yeah,
speaks for itself. So I'm saying when
right.
you're working through your CrossFit, spiritual CrossFit, and you're like,
That's good.
oh God,
Yeah, why
that
that? Even
no,
that.
that's leave
Yeah,
all of it. Like, so just really remember that, and you can rest in
that's big.
that.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah, and you'll welcome it. I mean, every time I say that, you back up a little, but they might welcome it at some point. I'm being overly optimistic, but they might be like, "Yay, my tire went flat. What am I going to learn from this? What am I?" Like they say, like
Right.
a blessing and a lesson, like a blessing. It'll be like both,
Yes.
like
Bless
if
the
you,
mess.
yeah, yeah, love that. You
Yes, in my book, bless the mess.
and that's a big thing you do with the language is you. I would call it mind training. Like you train the mind to see in the muck this. Like you have to train yourself, and it's not wearing rose-colored glasses, even though that's a
Yeah.
good way to get through life. If that works too. But this is
Yes.
really going to guide you to your heart, like in such a beautiful way. But you do have to retrain your mind from being this martyred masochist, and change everything. It's like what Hofmeister said, David Hofmeister, when he said he actually rewrote the Bible on this line, which takes a lot of chutzpah. He said it's not God loved the world that I gave my only son like a lamb sacrifice. But that's beautiful. But it's God so loved the world, or the one mind, so loved the world that it gave it to you, not gave you like to cook you and put you on the cross, but gave it to
Oh,
you. And if you could just change that, you don't have to, you can get off the cross.
you can get off the cross, and really the only thing is benevolence. There's only
Yes.
benevolence
Oh, that's
here
beautiful.
for you.
That's
But
beautiful.
You don't believe that right now, and
That's
that's
fine.
okay.
That's great. Yeah, it's easier said than done to say it.
Dude, it's not for the faint of heart,
Paul's
yet it
favorite
is.
line is the Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Oh
Because you
yeah,
can be cocky and think whatever, but
yeah,
it's coming to hit you. So why not
yeah.
learn to duck and learn to handle it and learn what it is, and then you'll take less blows.
Well, and it also turns you back in because, the distraction is, ooh, look at everything going on outside of me, which we know there's nothing going on.
Yes.
It turns you back inward
Yes.
where it's all going on.
Yeah, all that warfare, all that craziness that you're pointing to in the world is in you. All the hate you have for Republicans or Democrat is in you. The war, the thing, oh, you hate Trump, you hate Putin, you hate Biden, it's in you. And once you forgive that,
And
yeah,
well, and that's brilliant that you said that. Let's just go a little further if we can. Again, it's not that it even is real in you, it's that you
right.
believe in hate.
Yes, yes,
And so
yes.
you're going to see your beliefs on your screen of
That's
space, and
better.
that's okay.
Yes,
But now forgive it, meaning don't oppose that moment.
yes,
Sit in it, breathe, notice. And the
yes,
minute the awareness looks at what it's made, it collapses.
yes. People
And
think
it,
sitting in that silence, it's like that old song. I think it's a jazz song. Stop the world, I want to get off. Like you need that. Stop the machinery, stop the roller coaster for just that little bit. That's the thinking mind, just clicking away, and you're creating this world. It's going in the haunted house, and you created it, invented it, and built it, and you know every ghost that's going to pop out and scare. And then you forget, you go in,
yep.
because if you know it, you can't enjoy it. Like a magic trick for me, you have to turn it off,
You have to turn it
and
off.
and forget. But when you forget, you get really, you, you get really um, pulled in until you find someone that says, "Hey, it's just a dream. It's just."
It's
And
just a
that's what
dream.
resonates so much when you hear that. That's why the Wizard of Oz or the Matrix are movies that'll last forever, because it's the one mind turning on itself, making this beautiful thing,
Yes.
like over the rainbow, like there's somewhere, and I don't have to leave my backyard to get there. I'll
No.
never leave again. It's right here.
Because where you are, there you go. I mean, you're there.
That's why all those cliches are not cliche. They're wisdom, but we turn them into refrigerator magnets on the
Oh,
refrigerator.
sure.
And
Yes.
meanwhile, they're so, like, I used to hate when a lady at work used to say it is what it is, but it is what it is. And isness, like Muji says, is your business. It is this. So get out of all those concepts, all that fragmenting,
Dude, it's a journey.
and you have to take the journey. That's another thing, the Wizard of Oz. Why'd you have to put us through this? And Glinda says, because you had to find out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Well,
find
and
out
you
for yourself.
wanted to. It's
Yeah,
like,
I love that part.
these CrossFit people think they're nuts, but it's like they chose to do it and
Yeah,
they're doing crazy shit, and you're looking at them do it because they chose it and you're being entertained by it.
right. That's
I
great.
mean,
Yes,
that's a
yes.
microcosm.
Yeah. But that takes accountability. So you have to know who you are, right? You have to go to that beginning. You have to go back to the code, your divine code. I
Yeah,
love
the
you saying
eternal
invitation.
blueprint.
Yeah, eternal, beyond DNA. DNA
Beyond
is great.
DNA.
This is beyond that.
Right.
This is the
It's
real
the
DNA.
eternal blueprint of
Yeah,
I am perfectly whole and complete, not Ninette, not James or Bob
right.
or Sue. I am
Yes. One.
whole and complete. Everything's done.
Yes.
It's already finished.
And it's unbelievable what you're saying right now. I feel it. It's like I'm taking a bath right now. But to anyone who's listening that can't, it's unbelievable. It's too good to be true. And yet it is, and it's the best
Yes.
there is no ending to this.
No,
It's the ultimate ending of everything. We want that feel-good ending where it's with a bow and look, all the dead come back to life. It's that. It's beyond anything you could even imagine. It's
it
that.
is.
Everything's so
Yes.
perfect.
Yes. And I know I've said this before, but we're all backstage having a beer.
Yes, love that. Yes,
So, from there, you can go and start to look at Trump and all these role-playing
yes.
figures
All
of your
these,
own mind,
yes.
the content of your own mind, and start to re-see it.
I love
That's
that.
why I love that statement. Behold, I make all things new. It's old, and I know it scares a lot of people because it sounds very biblical and
That's
blah, blah, blah. But if you
so
look at every word, if you take the first word and then put it with the second word, that's its own statement. If you put the
love
first,
that.
second, third, there's its own statement.
Yeah,
Every time you add a word, it's its own statement.
yes.
You could contemplate that for the rest of your life, and you would be very fine.
That's all you need is that. Yeah, just take
That's
that.
all you need. That's just that statement. So,
Like Terence McKenna said, the world's made of words. And if you know the right words, you can make it into the perfection that it is. It's made of
perfection.
words or symbols. What does the
Symbols.
course say? Words are symbols twice removed or something?
Yeah,
So it's
2 times
words,
removed.
symbols, and then the truth.
So I do want to say, I know we're going to be finishing up soon, but I did want to say or share the whole YouTube, which you'll have in the description,
Yes.
is filled with sigils that are symbols that have a beautiful resonance with whatever you want to go and address. It has a tone and then the actual image that you can kind of gaze at.
There's links to them in the
Gazing.
book. As you go.
Yes, exactly. And then
So if you
there's
have
also
a digital book, I guess you just click the link. If you have a
exactly.
paper book, you would go to the link.
You go to the YouTube
What
or
does
it's
Audible
on
do there? Does it do anything? Does it Audible? They just skip over that, I guess.
Audible. I have in there saying you can go to the
Go here. Okay.
yeah, exactly. And then there are the whole 90-day wake up express is on
Yes.
YouTube as well. So if you
Beautiful.
want to go through one day, there's 90 days. I kind of, structured it similar to the 365 days of the course and a little bit of the Louise, hey, you can heal your life.
Beautiful.
So there's a kind of a blend, but it's very practical. It's very meaty.
Yeah.
And it's everything that I've moved through and continue to move through and also move through with my clients. So it's meaty, yummy, very practical stuff.
It actually works. That's the key. It actually works. You've done it.
I really wanted to put that in the book because it's like, dude, it's all fine to read, like we said, but you want to dig in, like, give me something.
Yes.
So
Give me a
I
visual,
really wanted
give me a course. And there's something about, again, with intent, taking a 90-day course and maybe it's like when you do the 365 with the Course in Miracle lessons and you might skip a few, but they do repeat after a while. But 90 days is nice because after a while it becomes a repeating of that just to get it into you. It's like discipline. So it's nice to lock into 90,
It makes you accountable.
Yes, you have to show up. And sometimes you won't want to. And it's okay.
But those are the times where you do, because if you show up when you don't want to, I'm telling you,
that's when it switches.
The fruitage is going to get real yummy.
I love that. The fruitage. More and more nowadays, I just see the fruit.
The fruit.
I say, what Paul says, I say the proof is, because people talk a lot, like I'm enlightened, I'm it, and I look for the fruit. Jesus said it, it's so clear. If you don't have the fruit, I don't believe you anymore, And Paul says he's not a fruit guy. He's a pudding guy. So the proof's in the pudding. He's a pudding proofer. Pudding proofer and a fruit collector.
Well, but you are right. I mean, like, people will listen to people that have done the work and there's fruitage or the fruit.
Yeah.
They see it. They're like, wow, you're this and you're doing that. How did you do that?
Right. And then when they get their own fruit and that's because in the beginning, it'll just like any discipline, you want to play the violin and you go, all right, it's been 20 days. I'm not good. It takes more than 20 days. It takes maybe 20 years to start.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this, and then if you add a little medicine or meditation plus your book, plus you'll get there, and just hang in there when it's hard, just like any discipline. Build the
That's where
muscle.
when the rubber meets the road, what
Yes.
you gonna do?
All those expressions. And you
What
have
you
all
gonna
those in the book. Every one is in there. You always had them. You always had them. And they're so good because they come back, but in a different light, in the light of awakening. And the reason you're here, the whole reason is this,
Yeah.
you know.
Is this?
So use
That's
all those little nuggets,
it.
little gems of wisdom that we put on the refrigerator, but no, it's there because it's stood the test of time forever, you know.
100%. 100%.
And you laugh
Yes.
when you see it. You go, "Oh my God, so
Oh
true."
my God. It was me
So
all along.
it was me all along. It's so beautiful. So I always ask, for the last 5 minutes or last 3 minutes, if you were in an airport or at a train station or a bus station or in a cafe and you get your coffee and someone's crying and they're going out the door and you got to go, what's your little advice, the best besides the book? What would you say to them, like distilled into 3 minutes?
What would I say to them?
Yeah, like they're crying and they're ready to get a
Okay.
noose, and they're like, non-duality, I get it, but I don't
Yes.
feel it. I read
Okay.
every book. I read the course. I threw it out 5 times. I bought it 6 times,
Got it.
but I'm not getting
Okay.
it, Ninette.
Got it. So it's so funny because this actually happened a few months ago, very random seemingly, but this is what I would do because I've been there. I would take their hands.
Beautiful.
I would look them in the eye and I'd breathe with them and then I'd say, I love you.
Beautiful.
And I would not let that gaze go. If they let the gaze go, I would say, come back to mama now.
It's like breaking the trance. It's a hypnosis.
It's breaking the trance of the stories and the old shit, because what happens is that I love you, I'm talking to their I am, which I know is really
You're
there.
not speaking to this.
No, I'm not speaking to the character.
To the person.
And so they're going to instantly shift because I'm projecting it out.
And you're holding them. I like you added the tactile, you
have
and the
to.
eyes.
Because it disarms the character.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
That's all I kind of got,
Yeah. And just don't break it and eye gaze.
Yeah. 100%. They'll never forget that. And that code or whatever was there will, to some degree or a big degree, collapse.
And I would recommend same thing, only do it. Say, I'll see you tomorrow, and we do the same thing, but we'll take medicine. read my book tonight, like in the hotel room, like a Gideon Bible. And tomorrow, after you read Ninette's book, take the medicine and stare for 4 hours on MDMA, holding hands, and watch what happens. If that doesn't work, like they're both.
That's funny.
And keep doing that. Yeah.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Yeah.
Don't give up.
Do not. Or do.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. Well, that's a surrender. It would be a surrender.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not in control. Everything's okay. Every mystic says all is well. All is well. Thank you so much. I'll put every link.
James. Please,
you have so much to offer everybody, and it'll all be there. Just look in the description.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you. We'll see what happens over the next year.
Okay. Okay.
2026. I'll see you Christmas 2026.
Got it.
We'll be flying in cars.
Thank you.